watchful. He's vigilant. He's a hunter by nature. He's got the most highly trained senses, and he never stops sniffing around. He does not accept corporate payoffs, and he is not interested in making friends and allies. He's on every corporate hit list and every government watch list. The Bloodhound Review. Welcome to the Bloodhound Review. I'm non-Dr. Smith, and we're going to review a consumer product known as Alba Just Natural Balancing Shampoo. And someone took it off my desk. I don't know where it is. I do have another Alba product to show up, just to show off the Alba brand and everything. This is a Hawaiian conditioner. Not a whole heck of a lot different, but it is different, and I just want to make that clear. On the Balancing Shampoo, it says no Sodium Lauryl Sulfate or Lauryl Sulfate. Some of the companies were doing a little trick where they were not putting the Sodium Lauryl Sulfate in, but they were putting the Sodium Lauryl Sulfate in, a little derivative change. Alba corrected that. They don't put either one in, not a drop. Unlike Suave, which it's like the first ingredient after water. But Suave has no parabens. The Alba Balancing Shampoo does have parabens. Perhaps if you put the non-ingredients of the two products together, you might have a product with less chemicals. Though it says 100% vegetarian, and that part really gets me. It's actually completely false. There's plenty of chemicals in here that are not vegetarian. I just don't get it. Sodium benzoate, for example, it's a chemical, it's a man-made chemical. This one doesn't have parabens, but the Balancing Shampoo does. And this one says no parabens. When they don't have it, they love to advertise we don't have it. But when they do have it, they don't say they don't have it. So whatever hits you, they hit you with it. Anyway, the final word on most Alba products, including the Balancing Shampoo, is 2 bloody thumbs down. That's your final word. We're going to go into it a little more deeply, though, if you have the time. Maybe you're a big fan of Alba and you want to know the sordid details. Well, that's what the Bloodhound Review's here to do. And there is some growing concern that parabens may cause breast cancer by mimicking the estrogen hormone in the human body. This is just amazing to me. The paraben goes in there and says, hey, I'm an estrogen hormone, you're not. And the body gets confused and starts to develop cancer, as if you've re-instructed the DNA to develop. I'm not a doctor or a scientist, don't quote me. I'm sure there's some people that can draw double helixes a lot better than me. But anyway, the concern is not yet fully vetted and verified by the US government, so keep lathering it on. However, the Department of Toxicology, Tokyo Metropolitan Research Laboratory of Public Health, I love saying that, reported that exposure of newborn male mammals, by the way, humans are in the mammal group, exposure to butyl paraben, quote, adversely affects the secretion of testosterone and the function of the male reproductive system. Well, that's some powerful stuff. There's a little additive in your hair conditioner. Actually screws up your whole reproductive system and your secretion. Wow. But you gotta get your hair soft, right? You need an emollient. It's gotta be emollient. By the way, I just have aloe vera in my gorgeous hair. No reproductive system screwer-uppers needed here to keep me emollient. How do I do it? How do I stay emollient? So we have this talk about breasts and testicles being adversely affected, but I don't know if Dr. Oishi of Tokyo's Department of Tox has it all figured out. Again, just keep lathering it on until the United Nations does a conference on it. For those of you like myself who don't like controversies revolving around chemicals that you put into your hair and scalp and brain that may or may not directly cause breast cancer, I want you to know you are not required by law to buy Alba's emollient balancing shampoo. There's no law about it yet. You can buy something else. You can play it extra safe and await the final conclusion of the studies, which I think are due in 2077. Keep your ear on the TV. Let's take a look at the ingredients. Unlike most shampoos on the commercial market, Alba does start off with a set of actually very good ingredients, by name anyway. certified organic herbal infusion of chamomile, lemon balm, wild thyme, and aloe vera. But that's where it ends. And now we begin with the first chemical here. This is good. Sodium Lauryl Sulfoacetate. Remember, no sodium lauryl sulfate and no sodium laureth sulfate. But we do have sodium lauryl sulfoacetate. Perhaps in a future installment it'll say no sodium lauryl sulfoacetate, but we'll see sodium lauryl sulfoacetate. Is that possible? It is kind of ambiguous though. On the back it does say no sodium lauryl or laureth sulfate. I interpret as no sodium lauryl sulfate and no sodium laureth sulfate. You could also interpret, according to 7 grammar schools that I checked with, that it contains no sodium lauryl and no laureth sulfate, but does contain sodium laureth sulfate. But I don't know if these words are interchangeable. It gets very technical. Well, according to the dear Stephanie Greenwood of Chemical of the Day, love this girl, citing the EPA, it is moderately toxic to fish, moderately irritating to eyes and skin. She also notes that it is not environmentally friendly. It does pollute ecosystems. Ecosystems, that's a big word, you know. And I'm not a fish, and I'm not part of the environment, so I'm going to keep using my Alba. Thank God for Stephanie Greenwood, though, as there's almost no meaningful literature on chemicals. It's obviously very privatized, this data. The chemical companies are very large today. They're the biggest companies in the world. And they don't want people running around thinking their chemicals might not be good, because they employ people, you know. Next, we have disodium laureth sulfosuccinate. Not sodium laureth, but disodium laureth. Still keeping true here. Cosmetics database says high contamination concerns. Another surfactant, and borrowing from Stephanie Greenwood again, she notes that there is not much info on it. It does appear to be a reproductive toxin. But there is concern, just concern, nothing confirmed yet, that DLS is an ethoxylated chemical. It may contain traces of carcinogenic 1,4-dioxane and or ethylene oxide. Let's hope those concerns are just that, meaningless concerns. In the meantime, lather up. Next we have the old cocamidopropylbetaine. This is a synthetic surfactant, another surfactant, according to the cosmetics database, associated with irritation and allergic contact dermatitis. I don't hear the words death in there. It doesn't kill you. You will not die from one use, or even many uses of cocamidopropylbetaine. You will survive it. Maybe they're not trying to kill us at Alba, but maybe they're just trying to irritate us. By the way, I don't look for science to tell me that I get red eyes and nasally and drooling when I put parabens on me. I already had this confirmed when I told the massage therapist to only use a clear oil, and it turned out she used parabens, and I started drooling all over the place. I know it happens. I don't need a scientific test. I'm okay without one. You might want one, but I don't need one. I don't bother. I just use like shampoo. Before I graduated to Sunlight for my cleansing, I used to use a shampoo like this. Aloe vera is the first ingredient. The last ingredient is vitamin E. There's not one chemical in it. It's just a list of plants. Peppermint essential oil, tea tree essential oil, essential oils too, not just a little leaf that they throw in for marketing. And then notice they don't even put a picture of it like 365 shampoos, all chemicals, but they put a big picture of mint. Trick you. Big mint. Oh, it must be good. By the way, you can get this at justnaturalskincare.com. No, they don't know me and they're not paying me. Moving on. Cider vinegar. Sounds alright. Decyl glucoside, sodium hydroxide. Nothing major on these. Certified organic USDA jojoba. vitamin B3, beta-carotene, haven't seen that one in a while. Now we have a couple of main, so we had a little nice break here with some vinegar and herbs, nothing that'll kill you. And, you know, we're gonna wrap up now with phenoxyethanol. EWG.org, cosmetics database, says high concerns of irritation to skin, eyes, and lungs, and moderate concerns of organ system toxicity. Just moderate. Your organs will probably escape this one alive. And then we have the methylpropylparaben. Again, high concerns, even from EWG, of endocrine disruption. Not a pretty term. I mean, we're talking about if your endocrines get out of whack and you start developing breast cancer. I mean, that's not good, you know. But we are working hard for a cure. And if you don't like how hard we're working and you want us to move along faster, you're welcome to strap on those Sauconys and go for a walk with Susan G. Komen for the cure. I'm not going to stop you. You know, the more miles you cover in those worn Sauconys, the greater the chance we will solve breast cancer. Or you can just eliminate the chemicals. You don't have to cure it at all. You just can not disrupt your endocrines and not cause your body to think you want to grow tumors because you're feeding it tumor-causing chemicals. And then when you go to the doctor, they're like, well, I don't know why you got it. It could be a variety of factors. Could be a variety of factors. We don't know. We just know how to treat it. We're going to help you. Again, this thing is just unbelievable. It's purely chemical-free, and it makes me wonder, I mean, they talk about using chemicals for freshness, keeping products from going bad. This product's very old. It smells incredible. I still use it. I've had it forever. But there's no chemical. There's not one chemical in it to keep it fresh. I don't know how they do it. With these other products, they need a lot of chemicals to keep them fresh. And I can't find any information that talks about this. But I have an educated guess. My educated guess here is that these companies that use chemicals are using the preservatives they put in to keep the chemicals from going bad. Just a guess. I'm not a doctor. You can't quote me. You can't use me in a court paper on an amicus curiae brief or anything. I'm not a doctor. And again, this company, not a $117 billion company like Unilever that makes your Suave shampoo that's only 99 cents. How do they do it? They're so cheap. These guys want 15 bucks. Suave only wants 99 cents from me. That's the bargain I'm gonna go with. What's incredible though is that they're 15 times the price, but they're like using Yahoo checkout, some old defunct website just trying to stay alive. But Unilever sells their Suave for 99 cents and it's worth, the company's worth over $100 billion. There must be a lot of markup in that 99 cents. Anyway, once again, 2 bloodless thumbs down for the Alba products. And thanks, Alba, Jessica Alba, and all you hot Hawaiian girls posing for Alba. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna go walk for the cure now. The Bloodhound Review.